million a year spent on bureaucrats. That's $25 million a year.
Freedom! Woo! Who's that guy right there?
Here's something you don't see in Victoria very often.
What's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
Not too much, not too much.
So that's not your normal sight for Victoria.
Vic BC Live. What's going on? I just started my stream.
Did you?
Literally just.
I've been up for 3.5 minutes.
Nice, nice. Yep. I am gonna get one of my flag. I'm gonna get my flag out.
MC Calcium. Coda!
What's going on?
Marco, hi Coda!
Hello, everybody.
So yeah, we got a Coda B in the house in Victoria. What's going on with him? Look at this, not normal.
With my Ottawa flag.
We're around here in the sunshine. Let's get a good shot here. Got the Ottawa flag here. See if we can get some of these, all these signatures. We're on here somewhere as well, but Code B123. Oh, there's us. Oh. There we go. So this group up here is absolutely against bringing doctors back.
Are they?
That are haven't taken the deuce.
Which group? Right here?
Yep. That's not part of our group. This is a different group.
Okay, okay. Oh, shoot. Wow, my number just jumped. Beaver, Melly, Mima, Lori, Rick, BP. What's going on? Welcome, everybody.
You want to call this a provincial crisis or a national crisis?
Well, I'm going to do a little bit of walking around.
Absolutely, man. Get familiar with the place.
I'm gonna. I am gonna. Make myself at home.
Our already strained hospitals are further strained by having to provide primary care services too. Our specialists are unable to take on new patients.
Rod James, welcome, welcome.
This cannot go on because our system will not survive. It is beyond bad. It is beyond critical. We are in the downward spiral of full collapse.
Junior, welcome. Welcome,
Imagine
everybody.
if we all woke up tomorrow and didn't have a family doctor. While this may seem to you like a distant possibility, I'm telling you right now today that this could be a near reality for all of us.
Elaine, welcome. Rickardy, welcome.
Without the care of a family doctor, how many of us will die sooner? How many of us will see a reduction in our quality of life? How many will never have diseases caught in time for treatment? Too many. That's how many. Because even
Tyson,
one
sounds
is too
good.
many.
See you soon. Andy, welcome.
Some of you may feel you don't need a family doctor. But will you need access to a hospital when you have a car accident? Because that will no longer be there without our family doctors. Some of you think the government will get this fixed on their own.
MC
To that
Cal,
I
welcome.
say, show me the track record that leads you to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Others may be thinking, but what can I do? I'm just one person. But let me tell you something. We're all gathered here today because of the power of one that grew into the voice of many. 9 months ago, I decided that enough was enough, and I would take a stand. Will you with me today? Hopefully you are here today because you have come to the same conclusion as me. If we don't speak up, if we don't advocate for our right to access primary care, we will see more of our family and friends die. To the family doctors in the crowd today and listening at afar, hear me now. Your role is so incredibly important. And I am sorry that has not been acknowledged to the degree that it should be. the most important things we have in our lives. We don't appreciate them fully until we no longer have them. October 31st will be 3 months until the government's support funding to family doctors runs out.
This is pretty
So
sweet.
here's what I know. If this government and the organization Doctors of BC does not present our family doctors with an equitable compensation option by this date, we fully expect to see a mass exodus of doctors from British Columbia. Practices are required to give 3 months notice before they close. Therefore, those letters will start to roll out on October 31st if the right options
Yolanda
are not
Anderson,
proposed
just
by
to note,
them.
it's not Victoria Island. You're
Are you willing
in
to let
Victoria
that
on
happen?
Vancouver Island.
Because what do we want? Oh, they didn't hear
Oh,
you.
little
All
freedom
right,
puppy.
in Vancouver. What do we want? What do we want?
Oh, yeah.
So what do we do?
Hey, hey.
Hey.
We rise up.
Guys want to see and say hi to Timber Traveler? So everybody, here's Timber Traveler.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 3.
Yeah, baby.
Twisted Productions.
Oh, Brian, welcome. Twisted Productions.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Adriana. Sorry, I didn't really hear.
You got Vic BC Live.
Had another me driving by.
Rudely went by.
Tyler, he came down in the fun with us.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Tyler.
Hello.
Frig, this is pretty cool for bigger than Kelowna, that's for sure.
It'll get bigger. It's early.
Cameron, hello, welcome. Tommy Temper, welcome. Welcome, everybody, welcome. Hey, are you going to be around here? Can I leave my bag here?
Yeah, we'll all watch it. We take turns. So
Perfect.
the yellow awning is the only bathroom. If I'm gone over there. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Look at that guy right there. Every time I go up there, a couple officers keep coming really friggin' close to me, and I don't like it. I'm a new face. I'm a new face. People don't like new faces. Oh no.
I wouldn't worry about your face. It's not that.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
What's
Oh
up?
wait, never mind. I don't need you. I got a ledge.
It definitely sounds like they've got attitude up there. I heard somebody, I think said something about security a little while ago. I think somebody came walking up and they got security to take up something. Right. All I'm hoping is that Chris actually has a permit for the loudspeakers. I don't know them doing more than one permit. I don't know anything about it down here. Right. But if he doesn't have a permit for the loudspeakers, we could run into a problem. I know Chris Guy doesn't care.
Tyson's in here soon.
Yep, I saw that. Yep, they said he'd be down in like 20 minutes.
Yep. Yo, Mr. Procky. Yo, 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 yo.
I like that you're taping the signs up this time. Not messing around today.
Well, it was a bit windy last Saturday. The wind was blowing around, so a little tape doesn't hurt, right? So.
You know who this is?
No, I don't.
That's Coda B.
Coda B. I'm sorry.
Do you recognize him
no,
from YouTube?
I
No?
don't. I'm not. But you can tell me. Who is that?
Coda B123, one of the original
Brenda,
Ottawa
nice to meet you.
convoyers.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, he was down in Ottawa for all of it down there with Travel Fun and Ottawa Scotty and Ottawa. That's from Ottawa. I'll get them all up here.
Yeah, baby. Live in the house.
Time to go on your flight?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Did I say?
Wherever you want to sign.
Tyler.
Another signature. An actual work truck honking. I love
Tyler
it when it's the actual
Chamberlain.
work truck.
Beautiful.
Remember when the Coke truck came through?
Beautiful. Never ending goal. Oh, what's this? Look at that. We support our Canadian Charter, rights and freedom.
That sign's been there for a while.
Yeah. Hey! Missed you on the way through to the ferry, Coda B. Yeah, Rickardy, sorry about that, brother. I was in a rush. Freedom honk, honk, honk. Yeah.
Denver knows his freedom music. Hey, how you doing, man?
Freedom! Woo!
And we smoke.
Yes, they have a family doctor they know and trust, then our work here is not done.
How long y'all been waiting for a Coda B freedom like that?
Different what I am going to say today. That address
These guys are all against, I guess, guys going back to work for doctors and stuff, so.
and to encourage them to hang on just a little longer in the face of seemingly overwhelming odds. I had
This is pretty.
government assistance and provide those doctors the necessary support they need caring for their patients. Sadly, the crisis is bad and known. It is worse now. The government's approach to date has been similar to
Viola, welcome to the live.
putting out fires one healthcare crisis at a time, rather than taking a sensible, informed approach that benefits all British Columbians. We have all witnessed the crumbling of the healthcare system, which depends on primary care. As evidenced by prolonged specialist wait times, emergency room closures, and tragic deaths that should have been prevented. Like the accountant, who knew he had a funny-looking mole on his shoulder, but it certainly wasn't
Paul
anything worth
Thompson,
the hassle
welcome.
of lining up
Talk to
for
you, it's
hours
been a
outside
while.
of UPCC to be seen. If
Yo,
he had
Ty
had a family
guy.
doctor, though, he definitely would have asked, "Hey doc, can you have a look at this mole?" while he was there for something routine like a blood pressure check. And having the ability to ask that question could have saved his life from the melanoma he died of this year, less than 2 short months after it was diagnosed in the ER. And more people are losing
Never
their family
Yolanda.
doctors all the time.
Always, always.
I personally know several wonderful, caring family doctors who have concluded they have no choice but to close their practices just in the last 5 months since the last rally. And trust me, they will not be the last if changes are not undertaken now. Do you know none of the resident family physicians we train in our clinic over the past 5 years have gone on to have a community practice of their own because they cannot afford to. They have $200,000 to $300,000 in student loan debt and have no choice but to take a job in other settings that pays up to twice as much. The government says they will recruit more doctors from out of province. But I can tell you, every other jurisdiction in Canada and even overseas like Australia and New Zealand is recruiting those same doctors, and it is highly unlikely any of them are going to choose to come work in BC under our current dysfunctional system. I ask the government today, why is
So what's up with that right there? Chat with a doctor? I never seen that in any rallies.
Yeah, the chat with the doctor is going to be for this group, I'm guessing.
The most valuable
Quite often, it's
field
mainly
of
just
medicine.
the
Enough is
group
enough.
down there, unless we unifies up here or something like that.
We are now
And they'll
approaching the end of
stage up here, like when
October,
Brian
and there's
Peckford
still
was
no
here.
evidence
Right.
that
They
the
had this
coming
stage
for British Columbia is in the form of
up here,
supports for family
but these guys
doctors.
are a different group.
BC cannot wait.
Weird.
We
Yeah.
need doctors
And apparently,
now.
from what they were saying, they are not for any of the vaccinated,
Well,
unvaccinated doctors.
maybe
coming
that's
back.
why everybody keeps looking at me weird, because I'm walking up here with my flag.
Yeah, well, you weren't the only one though. I saw
And government has
shoot, I
known
forgot his
this.
name.
Like
The guy with the loud honk.
Oh yeah, yeah, I forgot his name too. I meet so many people, I can't remember everybody's names.
we're hearing from some doctors that they face all sorts of
So apparently none of this is set up for us, I guess. I don't know. Our stuff's up here. So let's stay at the freedom stuff. This is like all anti-protest. That's all like, they don't like us. They don't like us here. Which isn't good. I don't like that they don't like us. Oh, here's Chris Skye. What's going on, Mr. Chris? How you doing?
I haven't seen her yet. How are you, brother?
Not bad. Good seeing you again.
Yeah, it's great to have you here for sure.
Do you remember who I am?
Yeah, I've seen you here.
With Terrence. Yeah.
I've seen you on the island.
No, this is my first time on the island.
Where did I see you then? Vancouver?
Vancouver, yes.
Okay, by the beach.
We met in Kelowna.
Is that where we met?
Yeah, and then again Edmonton. And I also met you in Ottawa as well.
That's right.
Yeah. I was on the pizza corner. You were
That's
coming
where I
up and
remember you,
all,
bro.
all our guys were getting harassed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can remember all the faces, all the people.
It's because
Oh.
everybody has, some people have a unique look.
Yeah, exactly.
Like me.
Yeah. That's awesome. How's your time going here so far?
Pretty good. Oh, there she is.
Good.
She lost me.
Yeah.
She went to go park the car and got lost.
Dang, eh?
Well, because she didn't know where I went.
So I guess these guys are all like not for what we're doing, eh?
What do you mean?
There's a bunch of groups that are like against doctors going back to work and against unvaxxed. There's groups of them everywhere.
These people are all part of the same protest as us.
Are they?
Are they not?
I don't know, man.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah, brother.
I was wondering if this was that or where we were.
It's kind of confusing.
It is confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of those people are against the unvaxxed.
Yeah, I
They
think
are.
so.
Yeah,
Why would they be here then?
I don't know.
Sure.
So you're saying the big crowd that's here for the protest is actually anti-protest?
Yeah, those guys, yeah. We're right here. This is us.
That doesn't make
Yeah,
any
this
sense.
group here, somebody was up there talking to them and specifically asked if they were going to, if they were looking to get doctors back that were unvaccinated, rehiring the doctors, and they said absolutely not. That's not what we're about.
So what are
We
they
wouldn't have a
about?
doctor shortage if they let the unvaxxed back.
Exactly.
That's
about?
ridiculous.
They're wanting more pay for the doctors and wanting to
Well,
hire
that's what-
more doctors, and
Where are they going to find them?
that's my guess anyway. I'm trying to figure it out fully too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like what? Right? Oh, I gotta see this. I gotta see this.
Well, are we not supposed to be?
I encourage everyone here today.
That's
See?
a different rally.
That
Yeah,
is a whole different.
telling you, bro.
That is the BC healthcare for all of us.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Somebody else
saying.
had said, that they were given trouble. Why are you down here on the same day that we're down
They
here?
already had a guy with flags taken away from there.
Oh yeah, security's all over it. They just kicked me out of there. I went to give somebody else a sign back because he's part of a group that is
Are your
supporting me.
taxpayer
So
dollars
this isn't our rally.
nurses and
No.
doctors actually
We
This
don't
is
even
our
have a
rally.
rally then.
Yeah.
or are they being wasted?
Well, as soon as you start speaking, as soon as shit goes down, people are going to start looking. But I think you should listen and speak to that.
As we've
That's
heard,
what I
there are 64 health authority VPs in the province, each earning $396,000.
I know. I'm kind of confused too, guys.
So if government is looking for how they can find more money for healthcare, let's start there. Write to the College of Physicians and Surgeons asking a streamlined licensing of overseas trained physicians and doctors who want to come to BC from other provinces. and that they work with physicians and the government to eliminate unnecessary paperwork that is keeping family doctors mired in administration rather than caring for patients. You might say to me, but I am not a government policy advocate.
Okay then.
No, but do you have a pen to write for an MLA? I don't have one.
I don't want to.
No. I can't.
Father had a Geiger counter.
That's what I said.
They only watch CBC.
I didn't hear a word.
Want more money. Everything's fixed with more money. Like, don't set any targets. Don't say I
Yeah, Alberta was Halloween, like just literally the night of Halloween.
On the years when you don't have snow on Halloween, you're like, yes, I can run across the lawn. And then like the years when snow, like crap, I have to actually walk around the lawn.
Right.
Otherwise, so yeah, or it would be nice if you just have to wear your snowsuit underneath your costume.
Yeah, you gotta limit your costume.
But you have to basically wear a big costume.
So am I gonna get like arrested if I roll one right here or what? No. Okay, perfect.
Got my chance.
420, we're about 9 minutes long.
That?
Coolers on.
Maybe I'll take a little meat in the back there.
Telling my dad, too, I was like, I need to put up some stuff, and he's like,
Right.
so I was like, you know what? I'll bring some stuff. Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh boy, we're gonna do it.
Oh no! Oh. Yeah. Yeah, he's the doctor. Yeah, Dr. Green's on that.
I would rather have my soul than my power and control. This ain't number one goal. All my friends turn to foes. Look how easily they fold. Even Nazis say they were doing what they told. Walking down this road, all alone in the cold. But my soul never sold. I'm exposed in the clothes. toes in this roll. All of those who oppose want me hopeless and broke like a rotten rose. I'm just trying to tell them all about the flood. I can feel it in my bones, I can feel it in my blood. Man, I came up out the mud, only God is my judge. I don't listen to decisions, they the real thugs. Won't comply with the lies, they disguise in science. They want you to lie, and the media's bias is corporate and trying to capitalize. And on us by dividing, but I'll keep on fighting.
Aha! Hang in there, eh? Tyler! You too. Take care. Is it live? Are you live right now?
Yeah, that's why it's there.
Oh,
Hello.
hi.
You didn't see me grab
Turn
this.
that like that. It turns with you.
You
So
almost witnessed a crash.
if you hold right here, it turns with you.
I don't have a camera. Hi, this is Timber Traveler. Hijacking the camera. Say that one more time.
You're pointing it the wrong way though.
Oh, am I?
It's facing you.
Okay.
Oh no, here, don't do. You're gonna break it like that. Look
Okay.
You can hear it, but you can't see it.
Hey,
Joystick.
oh, you got to do it one more time. You got to get a place where I'm not going to trip over if I find that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Your privilege. And it's kind of like death. You gotta do what you gotta do. Yes.
Hello.
I was over, I just talked to Chris for a couple of minutes.
The one I got, the
No, not anymore. This is sea organic duct tape, and it's really good.
My dog, so you can be
yeah.
See, she loves her.
I'm going to confess, I agreed with most of what she said. Nice, we found myself prepping.
I agree with what you're saying, but I get annoyed because they're asleep and they don't see the big picture, and this is all a government-sanctioned distraction for them. What they don't see is like what I know, right? I know that they're crashing now. That's what it seemed like. Like it was.
But at least you got your cowbell, bro.
It's right there. I said.
Hey,
Yo, Pierre, go Sue. Welcome, welcome, Jalissa, Stephanie Barry, welcome. Holy, everybody's here today. Love it.
Hey, Steph.
Whose setup is this? I'm just gonna like steal the corner of this table here. Boom. Hey, Barb, welcome. Lori, that looks like my dog. Hi, sorry, I stole a corner of your table.
Oh, there he is.
Finally took off with my felt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now I see it. It's not me, is it? Oh.
That side's pretty close down.
oh, felt pennies.
What are you getting?
It's come across Canada.
It's a little nice and hot today.
We're going to have the Raging Grannies come on up and tell us how it's done.
These presents high today. Yeah. It's funny, they were all helping around me while I was up there. But you know what I really like about it is, I found myself actually agreeing with what you say. So next thing you know, I'm along. And the next thing you know, right, like keep going from being aggressive to realize.
This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They kill the cure with the sickness. This is a war on tradition. This is a war on religion. This is a war on the children. They kill the cure with the sickness. This is a war. This is a war. This is a war that we live in. They offer within you that they also leaving killing you. They don't tell you what the hell you agreeing to. She been a hurt. You don't know who leading you. Keep on proceeding to follow your mind. So hollow when you be caught up. I do you following everything that the media tell you without a question or a problem. All of these sheep being slaughtered. They poison the water, removing the father. Ain't trusting these daughters, ignoring blue collar. Your daughters ain't got any honor. If I'm being honest, I just ain't picking the sky. But I'm not around my freedom and that's my freedom and freedom and living in life.
What's going on?
Hey, I don't know, just trying to get a grip on what's going on with the two.
Yeah, I'm just doing me.
They relocated Chris Skye's stuff, and that's what they were going with. That's what the cops were going with, was the merch, for now anyway.
Oh, really?
Merch up here for donation.
Right.
And they said you can't sell stuff on the legislative grounds.
Whatever.
That's what happened there. That's why everything is shifting.
I know, I gotta get one of his hoodies. Well, I think they're gonna start speeches soon, maybe.
Lucy, stop.
Oh, hi, puppies.
Because we're not allowed to
1, 2, 1, 2, check. Check. 1, 2, 2. Check. 1, 2.
Check, check.
Check. 1, 2. Check. Check. 1, 2. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2.
Boom, right at the speech. Look at that. the real men were in Canada the whole time. That's hilarious. Yeah, Red Librarian, love it. Mic check. All my mods are here, my members are here. Welcome, everybody.
Audible is the best place to listen for everyone.
This is a war on religion. They want you locked in your home without God in the home. Don't want you looking at God and saying you're right or wrong. The truth blocked in your phone. They call the shots. These doctors, they are not in control. Take the face that the Lord creates.
Coda,
How are ya?
1, 2, 3 on YouTube, Ottawa.
Coda 1, 2, 3. Coda B 1, 2, 3. Yeah. You were in Ottawa?
The whole time, brother.
And he's live right now.
Yeah,
Right?
went
So,
across the country with the convoy.
Thank you for your sacrifice to the country.
there's a flag beside.
Quite alive.
Yeah.
There's a flag over here on the
The
side.
convoy started here.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm out here from the convoy.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Ontario. As soon as I heard the whispers, I was like, no, I'm jumping on that.
I think they're trying to make us like we don't exist.
Right?
It's just all ended. When the government came down and all that.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But you know what? Doing all the shows, how many people are in support of what we do and are willing to stand up.
There's at least a third of the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Came out on the roadside to support.
Now we gotta get more. Perfect.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah. But he's live for a 2 race, so.
What's that?
He's live for the 2 race, that's 2,000 subscribers.
Awesome. That's what kept the eyes on everything in Ottawa, was all the citizen journalism, right?
Yes,
I
exactly.
was following like 20 guys. What do you do?
Oh, I know. Amazing, man.
More bouncy castles.
And
More peaceful, happy, loving people. More legal parking.
Yeah.
Gremlin, did you say?
Yeah.
Is that what you call Chris Skye?
Look around that guy.
Oh my gosh, we have actual gremlins. Yeah, the nice one.
Yeah.
He's a conservative, the other one's a liberal. Take everything down, terrorizing the streets.
Yup. Holy crap, the comments are just, I can't keep up. Oh my god. I already talked to her. I know it's Vancouver, Kelowna,
Somebody wants to talk to you.
How are you?
Rocket. I'm Fiona.
I'm Coda. Yeah.
Made in Canada for 120 years.
They make
Right
good
here.
soup.
Did they make good soup? Like you
You need your witch's butter though to thicken up the broth. Witch's butter, it's slimy orange looking thing on that log. Incredible.
To those who are asking to donate, you can just send super chat or you can send PayPal or e-transfer. One of my mods probably have my link. Not necessary, 100% appreciated. More footage to come.
Where'd the DC go?
Love it. Gonna have some good footage. Good videos. Good clips
No, we're doing freedom chapter.
I was just saying that proof I have to get.
We're not going to be one. This is the boat. That's the boat happened anyway. Maybe able to get back on its feet.
So ladies and gentlemen, we have another special guest we're going to be meeting today. Hey, Bearded Nomad, welcome to the chat.
Bearded Nomad.
What's the grift today? Give me money. Give me more. You're trying to quote Britney Spears with money? Bearded Nomad? Come on. Come on. But I'm not going to tell you. It's another live streamer that I'm meeting today.
Which one?
I think he's restreaming. Ty Guy, are you watching? Are you restreaming me, brother?
Yeah. Tommy Temper, are you watching?
Tommy's always watching. Tommy was in the chat already.
There's an Ewok.
Love it.
I don't want to hit anybody. I can't see nothing. I'm too short. So I gotta keep grabbing my belly so I can look out and hide.
You sound almost human.
Huh?
You sound almost human.
Well, I feel almost human in this.
I didn't know Ewoks could talk.
Well, you know.
It's a taco walk. I love it. I love it. How's it going, man?
Hey, Andy.
Yeah, man.
You met Kotab. Go to me, 1, 2, 3.
But he's the one.
How's it
You're the
going?
one with the flag that we're gonna sign.
Yeah, right there.
Oh.
Right there.
Oh,
right there
cool.
on the backpack.
Yeah, I'd love to sign that if I could.
Yeah, man. Do it up. There's should be markers all around it.
Skye, did he sign it?
No, I'm going to get them to in a minute,
I'll
though.
be talking to him 1 second here.
Where am I looking? This way?
Yeah. I was at the convoy with Chris.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's her there.
That's Convoy in Ottawa.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I was in Ottawa the whole time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man.
And then he went to park, but he takes a little bit because he spit polishes his door, right?
Yes.
He will be here.
Oh, he still isn't here yet.
Hey, Marjo, welcome.
Frank gets...
Marjo M, good to see you.
That's Timber Traveler in the house, guys.
Hey. Oh, no, that doesn't matter.
think it's crazy. I'm the
And Ozzy Blow.
Hi, Buttery Stew Pot.
Who's that,
Marjo, yeah.
Aw. Pet names. Aw.
Just say no. I'm gonna maybe go buy a hoodie. Freedom! Yo, bro, how much you charging for your hoodie?
For one, 100.
Okay.
And you transfer that. I still can't believe those fucking bombs.
Freedom puppy. Just say no. Yeah, exactly. Hi, puppies.
Say yes to creatures.
Yeah, baby.
Always say yes to creatures.
Hello, you're such a sweetie, eh?
I think I am.
Yeah. Bearded looks like a troll. Yo, Tyson, man, what's going on? Holy shit, you're tall.
Hey, count
Yo.
me. 1, 2, 3, everybody.
Tyson Hockley, guys, what's going on?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, what's going on, dude? How are you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Not too bad, man. I thought you were shorter.
I'm taller than my dad now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Flip around. Everybody, toe to be 1, 2, 3.
Tyson Hockley, what's going
In the
on?
house, everybody. I just
Look at that.
started like a minute ago. What's up,
Oh, did
everybody?
you?
Oh, yeah.
Nice, that's awesome.
Share this like crazy, everybody.
Yeah, get it out there. Go jump over and spam Tyson right now, guys.
Toe to be 1, 2, 3. Let's get him to 10,000 subscribers, everybody.
Right, let's get it, let's get it.
Let's go.
No, did you see Rob yet?
Yeah.
Yeah? Nice, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. It's good to finally meet you.
Hockley in the house.
Yeah.
How you doing? Pretty good. How are you? Good. I haven't been out to these rallies.
Happy birthday, man. No, you're listening.
Yeah, I gotta come out more.
Right on. Coach and B, Tyson, Vicky,
Coda B on the island.
live streamer convention today.
Yeah. Maybe we can make it a kind of reunion thing. Keep it
Chris
going.
Skye is just right over here.
Yeah. Have you talked to Chris Skye before? No? What? Go talk to him. Let's go. Yo, Tyson Hockley. Chris Skye.
Nice to meet you, bro.
He's Victoria live streamer.
I've live streamed most of the freedom rallies here since they started.
Did you see the rallies they're having over there?
Yeah.
Trying to ask for more doctors, but only if they're vaccinated.
Yeah.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, it's crazy. The unvaxxed can't go back to work.
Yeah, and they're complaining that they don't have enough doctors.
No.
Gee, I wonder why.
I know, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But whatever.
That's a fake government-sponsored rally.
Yeah.
You can see.
That's why we're here.
I went around and asked all the people what they were there for and what they were rallying for. Nobody can say anything.
No way.
Except that we don't have enough doctors in BC.
Wow.
We have plenty of doctors in BC. They all just don't want to be here because they all have to be mandated to go to work.
Yeah.
These fucking
Yeah.
and they're getting these idiots to support the mandates. So those people are all complete useless fucking sheep. I'm sorry.
Crazy.
It's so ridiculous.
Hello, puppy.
Puppy, bro.
Freedom! Woo! Let's go.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Amanda. I went out and I bought it. It's a
Nice,
reveal
nice.
on Tyson's show. They have no idea that I got it yet.
I think I'm gonna go take the mic and start talking. Over there, that's not part of our rally. We're only getting to over here. Now we can't get to the big part.
The government has been negotiating with doctors in BC compensation. But the question is, the last contract expired 7 months ago. When will we see results?
Love it.
Yeah, right, eh?
Amazing messages.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
So Serena's asking when we'll ship his tickets.
Oh, brother! Another picture. This guy here. This is the guy that
Very nicely done.
And I only have small and 2XL.
Small and 2XL.
And the medium and white.
To see you
The one for 30 years.
lying there in that poison.
Hey, hey, hey. Sure, why not?
freedom cookie.
So
Yeah, thank
turn
you.
off your thoughts and listen. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. No, we won't all go the way it should, but I know the heart of life is good. There's things you need to hear. Bad news never had good timing. But then the circle of your friends will surround you with silver lining. Pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around. The heart of life is good. The pain throws your heart to the ground. Love turns the whole thing around.
Froggy. Nice text, bro.
Misunderstood, but I know the heart of life is good.
Yeah, I just want to. Can we walk in first thing? Okay, and do you come out and then when I get back, you what? Okay, all right.
But I know the heart of life is good.
Keep going, my dear. Love you. It sounds amazing.
She does sound amazing.
How
do we help us increase depression? And how do we not give this government any breathing?
people say to win, paying our respect to the sea, my respect to the ones in the forest, standing up for our own trees, and giving food to the hungry.
No clue. I will find out though.
Care for free, 'cause there's freedom around us. We everything we need, and I will care for you if you care for me. And we all have opinions. Some of them get through, but there's better people with more good to do. Good to do. What I had could be a message or some words from my heart. My respect to the ones making changes, giving their lives to change our world. Not giving food to the hungry, hope to the needy, giving not to a baby, giving care for free, 'cause there's freedom around us. Everything we need, and I will care for you, 'cause you care for me.
There's no sign right now. Yeah, I know.
Some of them get through, but
I hope not.
It's more good to do, good to do. And the world keeps spinning round and round it goes. Human nature keeps spreading its disease. our children grow up with only what they know from what we teach and what we see. And it's so a question of the time we have in the lives that our children need. But they will only grow up with what they know from what we teach and what they see. Like giving food to the hungry, hope to the needy, life to a baby, giving careful free, cause things beyond
I agree, Lori. She's amazing.
I will care for you, cause you care for me, and we all have been. But there's better things good to do, good to do. Fighting for freedom.
Much love, Christina.
Better people fighting for freedom. I will care for you, cause you care for me. I will shelter you.
Okay, so anyways, Chris, when you see this guy, make sure he gets a wide opening. This guy too. He was there. This guy was with you on the convoy. Excellent. This guy here and this girl here, they've been working their asses off in British Columbia, keeping the word out. So you know what? If you're gonna hire people to go around and promote you or do something, these are the ones you want BC to promote you, pal. Okay, cheers, and I hope you do well too. I'm sorry, but I gotta invest my money in the kids. That's good. All right, I bought some shirts. So, I love it. Right, but you know what? We're gonna get through this, and we're gonna start fighting back. You're gonna hear my name all over, just like you hear your brother. Like that. We'll be up beside you. All right. We'll go to jail together. Hey, I'll be there with you. 23 times. Yeah. Cheers. Here's to you, Tyson. Thank you very much. You're the man. Christy,
Tyson Hockey, guys. Chris Skye.
You know what? You need some help.
Rob was here. Oh, there's Rob over there with Timber.
Okay, that's for you. Get something good. Get some film equipment.
It's not too bad here. People are pretty hype. I like it. I like it.
What a nice day too. We had some rain yesterday. Kind of
Yeah. I'm glad it's not raining today. Everyone said it was supposed to rain today, but thankfully it didn't. What's that?
It picked the right day to be sunny.
I know.
Like all week though, I think.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful, man. I love it. Right.
Get like European or something. I get
Oh. little truck on top of the sign. That's awesome.
How I wish you were here. So you think you can turn heaven from hell, blue sky from rain, and take green field from a cold steel rail, shine from a veil. Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to try? Change that you exchange. We're gonna part in the war to leave well in a cage. You're here, thank you for being here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running in us on the same old ground. What have we found? The same old fears. Wish you were here. You're already thank you for being here. Freedom. Serena, are you around? Freedom. Serena, can you make your way up here, baby?
Oh, Lori.
Serena, okay. Still there? Okay. And we're singing for freedom.
Member for 3 months.
Freedom. We're fighting for freedom.
Love you too, Lori.
We got freedom. Yeah, Serena, come on up. Freedom. We're just killing time. We're just killing time for you. Freedom. Freedom. Wanna be free where we wanna be free. Yeah, you're free.
Thank you, Joyce. I appreciate that. Peace, love, and freedom. Not necessary, always appreciated. Wow, it's loud. Doesn't feel that loud until you try to talk. As soon as you try talking, you're like, holy. Hope you guys heard me. I think we're gonna have a speaker or Canada Day singer, maybe, or I mean, O Canada or something.
Christy, can you come to the stage, please? Christy, we're calling upon you.
Calling on me.
Yes, come on up and honor us with your voice.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Freedom! Heck yeah. Wow.
Beautiful voice. Thank you so much for that. All right, everybody. We all came here today.
Yeah, Twisted Productions on YouTube, everybody. Check her out, hit her up, subscribe, like, and share.
For months on end. But today we have a couple special guests who are here and they made it to the island. And they're coming all this way because of what we are still standing for. Because what we still need to be speaking to and about. So we saw behind us the demonstration and some of the things that were spoken. But we can no longer feed the divide. The divide in society that was sown there by the media, by the government, by all those who wish to continue to divide us. We've been divided for far too long. Many have been coming together under inclusivity, love, diversity. No matter the path we walk, no matter where we come from, no matter who we are, we understand that we are standing together for freedom. This is a very important thing. Because right now we still have people who are being held as political prisoners from the Coutts border in Alberta. There are still 4 people whom are being held without bail. They do not get to have their day in court until 2023. They are still trying to raise funds so that they can be properly represented. Their voices right now are being hidden. It's no different than myself who has stood here with each of you and each of you who have stood here weekend after weekend, week after week, month after month, standing for our freedom, for our rights, each and every one of us. And now this could be any of you and this could be me. To be arrested and to be locked away and our voices to be silenced under false charges without proper representation. We need to bring awareness to this. We need to shine a light in the darkness. We need to bring their names back up on each and every one of our tongues so that this is being spread across the nation and we can bring awareness to the political prisoners that are here in Canada being held. This is Canada. Yes. This is not what any of you thought it was. We have all had our eyes awoken and opened to what has been going on here. And we continue to bring our voices together
and to stand together. I ask you to go to my page, Serena Freedom Bear. I will share the link. They are having their date in Leduc, I believe, Alberta, and they are asking and calling upon each of you to come and to help raise this out of the darkness so that the boys from Coots, the 4 of them who stood there for our freedoms, may have their names lifted out of the shadows. So please go to my page. I will share this tonight, that information, where, when, and I ask you to share it because it's us now. We are the ones that need to be the truth. We are the ones who spread the truth and share what's really going on. Just like when we come here and we gather here in love, in kindness, in respect of each other and everyone else. We're not just standing for our rights. We're standing for everyone's, whether they recognize what they've lost or not. I am a Nihiwasqueo. I am a sovereign Cree woman. I am from Treaty 8 territory, and I live here on Vancouver Island. I have been raising my voice and bringing awareness to the atrocities that have taken place across this land throughout history and how they are being perpetuated again today. This is no different what is happening to each and every one of us and our descendants from what has happened to my ancestors. We need to continue to rise and raise our voices and to talk about what is happening. The very next thing that we are going to see all of these regulations and fines come in under is anti-hate. They're going to label, just like they have over the past 2 years, falsely labeling us as hateful when what we have stood for is love, inclusivity, and diversity. Our rights, our freedoms, our fundamental right to live free. No government, no man, no woman, no corporation has any authority over these God-given creator rights, our natural laws. And that's what we stand for together. No matter what backgrounds we come from, no matter our heritage, our territory, our religion, our skin color, we all come together and we stand together for truth and for love. That is who we are, and we will continue to share that message because that is the truth that we carry, and that is the truth that we will continue to carry. And we want our words to be represented without the perversion of the media, because this is who we are. This is who we've always been. This is how we've come together in love, heart to heart, smiles. We are about inclusivity and diversity. We are about raising the truth so that others might hear it from our mouths without the manipulation. What are we really speaking and standing for? And we thank those who have taken the time to come and to listen and to hear what it is we raise ourselves for. I myself have been labeled a racist, a misogynist, and a white nationalist. I am a Nihiwasqueo. I am a Cree woman. I am a matriarch. I am a healer. I sit with women in sacred circle and I assist them in their healing journeys, and to be labeled these things by my media and government is immoral. I've also ran as a school board trustee in our local elections because I believe in the democratic process. I believe in integrity. I believe in people still having inside them some moral compass. My name was perverted through this process, but it's okay because I know the truth that I carry, and I know that I carried it in halls where these conversations were not currently taking place. Where our voices were being censored, we were now having these conversations and talking about these things that were being shut down previously and perverted. We need to continue to do this because we are going to see under anti-hate, we are going to see fines, we are going to see manipulation, we are going to see censorship like we have not yet seen. And so be prepared and understand what is coming, because this is a mass manipulation. The other thing we're going to see is under environmental and climate change. While there are truths of what we need to do in protecting the land, protecting the forests, but we also need to be aware of things like environmental terrorism and the policies and regulations that are currently coming in that are counterintuitive to what they say they are bringing in. When you are aerial spraying forests, you're interrupting our foraging, you're interrupting our hunting, you're interrupting the wildlife, you're interrupting the waterways. When they're poisoning the Miramichi and arresting those who are pointing out those in the hazmat suits currently poisoning our fish, our waterways. When they're disrupting the salmon runs in Hope, These things are counterintuitive to the environmental regulations they're bringing in, but mostly these are invasive to our food sovereignty. We need to be aware of all the regulations and everything they are bringing in under food policy, under environmental regulation. Right now, all across Canada, we have pilot programs that in Cowichan Valley, they call it Plan H. These pilot programs, in 1 year, they're going to bring them back to the municipalities. In a year and a half to 2 years' time, they're going to hit our city councils. What they are voting in is the regulation of our food systems in every way. And this is a direct quote from those running the program. So we need to be aware about what our farmers, not people standing here waving the flags with us, but our everyday farmers all across this land have been calling out. We are currently watching the death of the farm industry. As my ancestors have lived and shown each and every one of us, when you interrupt our food sovereignty, you force us into reliance upon their government programs. When you are forced into the government programs, you force reliance. As a people, we can never give that kind of sovereignty over to anyone. That is our right to have our food sovereignty in our own hands. And so I ask you to pay attention what is happening and understanding how this will continue to pivot and the work that we need to continue to do to pay attention and to be vigilant and cognizant of how this will continue to infringe upon each and every one of not just our rights, but all of those people across this city who are currently listening. Pay attention, whether you agree with us or not. Hear what we're saying. Watch for yourselves and make up your own mind. Don't listen to what you've been told by the media and your governments or even us. I believe in people having the ability to use their critical thinking and to investigate for themselves. Question everything. Because this divide, we need to bring ourselves together under unity. Because divide has been used for too long to divide people. Because when you divide the people, you disempower the people. You turn them upon each other. And then you give all your authority to the government and the corporations. But we, the people, as men and women, we need to be aware of how we need to come together. And I'm now speaking to each and every one of you here right now. It's up to you to look in your hearts about what we are doing to perpetuate the divide. Because when you divide people, not just between liberal and conservative, not between far left and far right, vaccinated, unvaccinated, but when you, and medical choices, sexual orientation, when you divide people, you create a wedge in society and you disempower us. But when we are aware of that and we do the work to say we will not be divided, we will not perpetuate that kind of hate in our hearts. We will hold each other in empathy and grace as we all continue to grow and come together. Because it's up to us. We are the change and we are the truth. And let us keep raising our voices and walking in integrity and remembering what we stand for. And it's above any one of our egos. It doesn't matter if I'm ever invited to speak in front of this microphone again, because it's about this freedom seeds and the truths that we spread. That's what this is about. And so I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for gathering here time after time after time and raising the truth, because we're just getting started. We are going to stand together and we are going to hold each other in empathy and love. Hi, hi.
Thank you.
Let's give it up for Serena. Come on.
Yeah, Serena. There we go. Crocky went and shared all her links.
All right.
Already.
Hello, Victoria.
Tyson, Vic BC Live.
Hello, beautiful people. This is amazing that we're still standing here strong and determined like never before. Who's with me? Exactly. Yes and yes. So, obviously we have a main guest coming up right after me, and very briefly, if you don't know my story, I was born in Soviet Union in 1980. I was indoctrinated into the religion of communism. That's what the religion was in Soviet Union. And that's partially one of the reasons why I got as active as I did in 2020, because I saw how much indoctrination already happened up to that point in the indoctrination system, not education system. But especially with all the COVID measures and everything else the government was rolling out, the writing was on the wall that this is tyranny like never before. No Canadians ever experienced what they were about to roll out, and I had to do something. I was raised a certain way where I see injustices being done. First, I have to speak up. I have to use my voice to bring attention to things that are wrong. Obviously wrong. It's common sense how wrong the things are, from especially the 2020, the beginning of everything the government was doing. And then second of all, if you see nothing's being done once you bring attention to certain things, guess what? It's our responsibility to do something about it. And that's why I chose to show up at the Toronto Queen's Park rally at the very beginning, April, May of 2020. That's when we will start to come together there. We didn't really know each other. We just showed up because we had to show up. We had to do something. And look at us now. 2.5 years later, hundreds of multiple different organizations around the country doing different initiatives, bringing awareness, sharing information, spreading the truth. Yes! Spreading the truth. You know how they said from the beginning, stop the spread? No, 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 no. We're just getting started with the spread. Because the power of the truth is undeniable. You don't need to defend the truth. You just need to spread it wide and far. And boy, we've been doing that for the last 2.5 years. It's incredible to witness how many people are waking up now in droves. And guess what? Once they awaken, they're not going back to sleep. Right? We would all agree, once you show people the truth and they have that mind shift, which happens sometimes in a moment, but guess there was a lot of things that led up to that moment for people to have a shift. And that's why I often say, never minimize a single conversation what you have with one person. Because the impact is truly remarkable and unmeasurable in the sense of what can happen for the person later on, because all those things that they hear from you, they hear from other people within the rally, they go to different websites, different videos. All those things are building blocks. All those things are seeds of doubt that have been spread in people's mind to help them connect the dots. And you have to give people the space to connect those dots. You cannot do it for them, because that's what the government does. The government tells us what to think. We just asking people to think. That's the main difference, and it's so simple, but it's so true. That we are empowering people to be in charge of their life, where the government is actively trying to create a nanny state. That you're going to be dependent on the government for everything. And the government is your big daddy that's going to know the best interest for you. Well, I think we all can see now, especially after 2.5 years, that the government does not have a best interest for us. In fact, the government is not your best friend. The government is your worst enemy. If the government truly cared about the health and prosperity of Canadians, they would not shut down the gyms and pay over $300 million to Good Life and then impose all the nonsense unhealthy regulations for people that want to stay healthy and go to those gyms. They would keep gyms open. They would offer free memberships to the gyms, to the people that want to stay healthy. They would mandate doing push-ups rather than wearing masks or taking experimental jab. But guess what? As I say often, everything that transpired in the last 2.5 years, it had to unfold the way it did. With all the suffering, myself and many of you went through, and probably still going, and people that we lost, unfortunately, because we couldn't be with them for different reasons, or many people that we know now that unfortunately got coerced and subjected to this experiment and genocide of unimaginable proportions. It had to be this way to really expose the truth to so many people that were blinded before. The reality is the system was never broken. It was designed this way. The system was designed to create compliant, obedient, sick people that would be relying on the government. Because if you have your health and you have some type of wealth, or you're financially independent, or you don't need to rely on other people, you can go and you create your business and you can make an impact. You cannot be controlled. In Soviet Union, everybody was the same. Everybody was the same. But then the politicians had the caviar and everything else, and I, at 8 years old, had to line up at the store to get food coupons because the government told my family how much food we're allowed to have. Sounds a little familiar? What's essential, what's not essential, right? You can get this, you cannot get this. And we can see this now, like they're not even hiding anymore. The government won't control you what car you're gonna drive, how far you're gonna drive, and where you wanna go drive, right? That's again what was in Soviet Union. And as you know, so many immigrants coming from different tyrannical countries like Venezuela, like China, right? They know what's about to take place. And we've been doing our best to warn Canadians because Canadians are intelligent. Canadians are beautiful people. But what Canadians miss the most is a perspective that, like I shared already, the government is your worst enemy. So you have to regain your independence. You have to be as healthy as possible and proactive with your health and take personal responsibility. Ultimately, if it would be one message I would ask for you to take today from me personally is every single day, choose to take personal responsibility for your life in all areas, in health, in finances, in all those things. And that's what you want to pass on to your kids or whoever you're taking care of. That's your responsibility as a parent, not the government. You as a parent are responsible how your kids are going to be raised. You have to raise your kids to be strong and not to be intimidated. And there's examples that in the last 2.5 years of few different kids across the world. There was one girl in Florida that was sent to the principal multiple times because she said, I'm not going to wear this stupid mask. And eventually, DeSantis had her at a press conference and said, no, we're not going to force kids to do anything. And that shows you that even one child can make a difference. Imagine how much you, as an adult with multiple resources, can make a difference. And that's kind of my also message that every single one of you has a purpose. Every one of you has a power and certain design that instilled in you. And it's not our place to make you leaders. You're already a leader in your own right. But some people need a little bit of facilitation. They need a little bit of inspiration. They need a little bit of a structure. And myself and multiple people have been doing our best to empower you to take a stand like many others already have. And the reality, like I said, I don't know what other side can do to win this war, because I know in my heart we really want it, because so many people are waking up, so many people sharing the truth, spreading the truth and facts. And unfortunately, many people are personally experiencing the injuries or death in their families from these experimental jabs. And the reality is, as much as people should be outraged with CDC mandating these COVID shots as a schedule, and they should be for the kids, the reality is it exposes even more that all those shots in that schedule was never safe and effective. None of them safe and effective. None of them. If you know my story, I have a son that I'm battling to gain custody back, and there's improvement, and I'm blessed for the improvement in that. But my daughter, who's now 15 months, she's organic 100%. There's not a single shot in her, there's no drops, nothing. And she's the healthiest child you can have. She's so alert, she's so energetic, she's so strong. So it's all bullshit, pardon my French, what they're trying to tell you, that you have to do those things to keep your kids safe and effective. We know what you mean by safe and effective now. And so many people know it now as well. And I always want to give a shout out to the Vaccine Choice Canada, the tremendous organization that's been at the forefront for 4 decades. Let's give it up to Vaccine Choice Canada. They've been doing this way before it became popular and more accepted has it been in the last 2.5 years. But those people are true pioneers in freedom of choice. And that's what I'm going to maybe finish up with today, is that ultimately what we are fighting for and we're standing for is for freedom. And freedom is as important as the air that we breathe without a mask. And freedom is not free. You have to pay price for it every single day. And the price that you pay is by actions and choices you make every single day. And I would empower you to be mindful of what kind of choices and actions you make every single day, because all of them matter. There's no action small enough that can make a difference in your life, and people are always watching, and especially kids. You can say all you want, but kids are watching you, not what you say, but what you do. And they are the generation that we need to be standing on guard for. It's the kids. It's the most vulnerable in society. It's the elderly that have been locked up in these prisons, long-term care homes. It's the most cruel punishment you can do on anyone is solitary confinement. You don't even do it in prison for too long. And they did it to our elderly. And they did the same to our kids. And that's the mirror into the society, how you treat the most vulnerable one. And every single person that supported and facilitated that kind of abuse, and I'm not mincing words, that was an abuse and a genocide of our elderly population and the kids now. You should be at the very minimum ashamed and at the maximum hold accountable. And we will hold everybody accountable in due time. And there's always a judgment day coming. So have faith that you're on your right side of the history. When the books will be written, we know where we stood. And this is nothing like, it happened before in history. This is nothing new. They literally said, it's for your safety to wear a hijab in Iran over 40 years ago. If you haven't heard speech from my wife, Sarah, from Iran, she said that over 40 years ago, they would bring a hijab on a tray in a restaurant and ask you, can you please put this on so we wouldn't get in trouble with the police? Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? Can you please put the mask on so we can keep our restaurant open? Yes. People didn't think that was a big deal, but boy oh boy, we know it's a big deal now. So myself and Skye, who's going to bring on stage, we chose early on. We drew the line at the mask. We didn't have to wait for the jobs to draw the line, right? And we keep holding this line as far as we have to, not just for ourselves. We all can go to Mexico and live free, right? But this is the country of my kids. I am an immigrant to this country, yes. But I have kids who were born in this country. And they deserve full freedom and opportunities that this country has for them and all you beautiful people. So in the end, guys, we know we're on the right side of the history. We have to have faith and love in our heart and keep spreading the truth and facts and keep bringing people together, keep building the communities. We know we're on the right side, and we're just going to continue until we win all the way, and we're going to hold every single person accountable. If you don't know about the vaccines, Justice for the Vaccinated, I highly encourage you to check them out as well. This is a tremendous organization that can help bring more people together, because we're not fighting for our judgment, for our justice, we're fighting for the justice for the vaccinated. But without further ado, I want to bring up on stage my brother from Alabama. Again, like I said, we show up at the Queen's Park without knowing each other, but we felt passionate about doing something, and we haven't stopped still. And I know many people have different emotions about Skye, but I always ask for one thing from you, is respect of his work ethic. I don't know a single other person in this country that has been as relentless as Skye. And boy oh boy, when you stand shoulder to shoulder with him when he's challenging the authority, there's no better man to lead the freedom movement in this country. Let's give it up to Skye! Woo!
Hello, Victoria. It's true what Vlad said. A lot of people don't seem to like me, especially the government. And the reason is, I make people face the harsh reality. And the harsh reality is, the problems we're facing today are not the fault of the government. The problems we're facing today are the fault of ourselves, especially the men. If men acted more like me, wouldn't take shit, had a little set of balls, and would stand up for themselves and their families, they would never have put a mask on. They would never have taken a jab. And they definitely would have never closed their businesses. In short, strong men would make this pandemic completely impossible. But in Canada, a strong man has been ostracized. Masculinity in general is under attack. Me standing up for myself, or even standing up for your children, is considered toxic. They want us to be tolerant. Look up the definition of tolerance, and it literally says, putting up with something you know is wrong. How is that a virtue? That's like watching an old woman get beat up and looking the other way, or watching your children get abused and looking the other way. And in fact, many of you did that. Not only did you look the other way, you actually enabled the abusers. When your children came home and said, Mommy, Daddy, I don't want to wear this mask. It makes me feel sick. I can't breathe. I'm getting rashes. What did 99% of the parents say? Listen to your teachers.
Shame.
So not only did you not stand up for your child, you let them know that the state, not the parent, is the primary caregiver. The state is in charge of your children. How do you expect to be a parent and have that kind of responsibility and then hand it off to these teachers? The same teachers that have been grooming your children to question their gender, to want to eat bugs, and to pretty much go along with this entire pandemic because the teachers are some of the weakest members of society because they went through the education system. You think it's an accident that the first places to try to re-mandate masks are our universities? No, it's because they know that those are the people that have been primed through the education system to be compliant and to do as they're told. And if you don't do as you're told, you're a bad person. You're a really bad person. A man is measured by the ability to cause harm. I know that sounds crazy, but if you're a man and you don't have the ability to cause harm or act out or stand up for yourself, then what are you? You're one of the men that will go along with it. You're one of the men that will comply. And you'll tell yourself your compliance is a virtue. You're doing what you're told. You're helping humanity. You're protecting everybody by wearing the mask. The reality is, you just know you do not have the capacity for violence, the capacity to stand up. And that makes you weak. That's all it is. It doesn't make you a good person. It makes you weak, and it makes you irrelevant, and it makes you the reason that this is happening. You all heard the sayings that hard times create strong men, and then strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Well, we're at the part where the men are the weakest that they have ever been. Yes. And as a result, we had families getting absolutely destroyed because of COVID. How many families broke up because one parent wanted to vaccinate their kid, or one parent wanted to close the business, or one parent or one partner wanted to go along with the COVID measures and the other didn't? There has never been more division in society than today, and it was all on purpose. It was all done by the government, because when we're divided, we are weak. You saw that today. We had division right here. We had a whole group of people over there, completely brainwashed, complaining that there's not enough doctors in BC for their families. And they're complaining that doctors are choosing to leave BC. And then I went over there, I'm like, well, maybe you shouldn't have fired all the unvaccinated doctors. And they had the audacity to respond, oh, that has nothing to do with it. Oh, really? So firing 20, 30% of the doctors and then setting up conditions where the vast majority of doctors are forced to choose between taking an injection that's killed already over 80 of their colleagues in the last year alone, but now we're gonna shit on these doctors that are secretly trying to protect you and your family and their family? That was the biggest government propaganda fake rally I have ever seen in my life. And you could notice it because there were almost as many police officers in the crowd as there were people. And they were there for one purpose, to make sure people like me couldn't go over there and speak. Because if we do...
Yeah, brother.
Yes, brother.
Yeah, that's the way.
Love you, brother. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Because if we went over there and started speaking the truth, we might actually wake more of those people up. And now, they're at the point where the vast majority are going back to sleep. The number one thing I've been getting asked is, why are you still fighting? Why? We don't have to wear masks anymore. We don't have any more vaccine passports. Hell, we can even leave the country now. Well, first of all, many industries are still mandated, just like the doctors were. So there's still millions of Canadians that are out of work. If you haven't noticed, they're already talking about bringing back mask mandates back, but they just got rid of them on October 1st. And if you also haven't noticed, I just came from a trip around the world. I was in 6 different countries. We started in England. We went to Ireland, Belgium, France. Netherlands, and Germany. And when I spoke in each one of those places, I realized that they haven't stopped any of the agendas. Their main agenda of control through a universal basic income, a digital ID, and the vaccine passport system is still very much alive. They're just using the weakness of each country and attacking it. In Canada, our weakness is our niceness. So they divide us with as many different ways as possible. And they try to scare the rest of us from speaking out. When I went to England, the monarchy had put a stranglehold on the entire population. I was there the weekend that the Queen got buried. And they had spent so much time, effort, and money to make the people believe that the Queen was the most important thing on the face of the earth. They literally wanted the people to believe that the Queen dying was more important to their life than their own family member passing away.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What their goal is in England is to make the people believe that they don't matter. Because as soon as you believe that you don't matter, you're more willing to comply with what they tell you. Because they're so much better than you, so much more important than you. How dare you disobey? That's the attitude they tried in England. So I went there to wake them up and let them know that you do matter.
Way to go, Chris.
You matter just as much as the Queen. In fact, I'm pretty sure your own mother and your own sister and daughter and father and brother matter way more than that old woman passing away. The same woman that wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. But we're supposed to care that she died. Like, that was the way we had to get through to the English. Then I went to Ireland, a friggin' country so patriotic. Only 5 million Irish people. You know that? 5 million in that little country. So what are they doing to them? They're destroying them through displacement. They brought in over 50,000 Ukrainian refugees. That's more than 1 out of every 100 Irishmen is now a refugee from a different country. And that's not an immigrant, that's a refugee. And they're getting precedent over the Irish people. When you go to Ireland, the only homeless people you see are Irish. The only people that can't get work, can't get housing are the Irish. And they're doing it on purpose. They're making the living conditions so bad that 70% of Irish children, 20 to 22, are considering leaving the country. And why are they doing this? They want to destroy the national identity. And they acknowledge that they could have solved the housing crisis with a mere $5 billion. And wouldn't you know they had it? But you know what they used it for instead? They sent it to Zelensky in Ukraine. So he could use it to bomb his own people and enrich himself. So then we went over to the Netherlands. And the Netherlands is very, very, very important. They are the #1 food supplier and exporter for all of Europe. And that is why they're ground zero for this fight. That is why they took our trucker convoy and turned it into their own convoy of farmers and ranchers. And they gave us, they shouted out Canada. In fact, they invited me there to be the Canadian ambassador and speak on our behalf. So I went there and we spoke. And I saw firsthand the way they're trying to destroy that country. The government owns the energy company there. Just to show you how dangerous nationalization is, aka communism, when the government owns everything and you own nothing. If they want to close your business and you won't listen,
yes, they do.
They'll just raise your energy costs by about 1,000% over a month. And I saw it firsthand. I saw a person who showed me their energy bill for the last 12 months, and it ranged between 3,700 euro to 4,500 euro. And then all of a sudden, whenever they decide, that's what I'm going to tell you. This guy had the same bill for almost 12 months, ranging 20-30%, and then the next month it went from 4,500 to 45,000 euro for his business. And obviously he couldn't pay it, so he had to close his business. And that was the tactic that the government uses. They want you to close your business and you won't, they'll just do that and your energy costs and you're done. And now they're going after the food supply. How? The exact same way we are here. Environmental regulations. Right. Now they're going to tell us that CO2 isn't the main culprit killing us. Now it's nitrogen. Yes. And wouldn't you know it, nitrogen, which makes up 75% of our atmosphere, the biggest polluters of nitrogen is our evil farming industry. All the stuff that we need to eat to survive is actually killing the planet. So now, to save the planet, we need to starve the people. And that would sound absolutely ridiculous, except that we've been trained the last 2 years to get to this point with incrementalism. 2 years ago, rights and freedoms, individual rights and freedoms, were paramount to a successful society, to the point where wars were fought and millions of people fought, bled, and died for those rights and freedoms. And then the COVID pandemic came in, and all of a sudden, rights and freedoms were no longer paramount to a society. In fact, individual rights and freedoms are selfish and dangerous, and you need to give them up. But only temporary, guys, only temporarily, and only for your health and safety. So you're a good person if you give up your rights and freedoms temporarily for your health and safety. That was stage one. And we did it. The vast majority lined up, handed away the rights and freedoms that people friggin' died for on a silver platter with a virtuous, I'll wear my mask for you and everyone else. And then sure enough, what happened? We fast forward 2 years later, and now the new mantra is, not only are individual rights and freedoms selfish and dangerous, individuals in general are selfish and dangerous. So now not only do you get no rights and freedoms, now human beings are the new virus that need to be controlled. And that's what the climate change agenda is all about. COVID and the restrictions were always temporary, right? But now when they transition you into climate change, those same restrictions that were temporary become permanent. And they just eroded even more of your sovereignty and even more of your children's future. And under the guise of climate change and under the guise of lowering nitrogen emissions, they plan on destroying up to 30% of our food supply. While at the same time, increasing our population to over 50 million by 2030. So it doesn't take a genius or a mathematician or a scientist to figure out what happens to the average Canadian if our food supply goes down by 30% and our population goes up by 13 or 14 million. You're going to have massive food shortages, and that is the plan. They failed with the masks and the jabs because we did our job. We spread awareness. We provided inspiration and courage, and we got enough people to just say no.
Yeah.
And around the world, the people united in non-compliance against these ridiculous measures. So what do? They backed off. They let you put on a mask. They let you take off the mask and put everyone back to sleep. And now they put all this legislation in place that's designed to make every single thing that you need to survive more expensive every single month, under the guise of a so-called global recession that they have planned and that they are executing. Why do you think they brought 500 world leaders to London, England? It wasn't for the Queen's funeral. It was to organize the power players for the next phase of their plan. They didn't stop. They just changed directions. So now they plan on doing what every tyrant in the history of humanity did to get the people back under control. They're going to starve you into submission. They're going back to the boiling frog tactic. They're going to let you think everything's okay. They're going to let you go back to your supposedly normal life, only every single month, like little piranhas, they're going to take chunks out of you. You're going to see your gas bill go up, your food costs go up, your energy costs go up, your housing costs go up. And it's just going to be enough every month that you feel it and you notice it, but you're not going to do anything about it. Literally, we were the boiling frogs in the pot. They turned it up a little bit, we felt the heat, and the frogs started stirring and talking to me, say, hey, they're boiling us. Maybe we should get out of this pot. And as soon as we started jumping out of the pot, what did they do? They just turned the temperature down enough so the frogs just got nice and comfy and went back to their slumber. And all the rest of us that have third-degree burns on us and are screaming at them, they're trying to cook you to death. They're just saying, just go back to sleep. But guess what? In months' time, when these people cannot afford to feed themselves, did their mask and their jabs and their compliance and obedience save them? No. It was exactly what destroyed them. Like we've been telling people since the start of this, you cannot end tyranny with compliance. That's right. The only way to end tyranny is united non-compliance. That's right. And as these people kept complying, they noticed that years went by, and the more they complied, the worse it got. That's right. And they just kept up more rights and more freedoms. But now, the more they comply, it's not just going to cost them their rights and freedoms. It's going to cost them. And that's when they're going to notice. Because when you can't feed yourself, it's not going to matter how many injections or how many masks you're wearing. So these people are going to become one of us, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this. This was their biggest blow to strike against us. They had to do something big because we won a huge battle in this war. We got our freedoms back when they didn't want us to. So now they're going to make you suffer. They're going to make you suffer as much as they possibly can. Because they know out of crisis and out of suffering, they can once again obtain your compliance. If you cannot make ends meet at the end of the month without government assistance, they'll provide you a solution. Universal basic income. Only thing you'll have to do to get it is download a wonderful little app for digital identity. Scan your palm, scan your face, give them your DNA and everything else. And be ready to be analyzed for every single transaction you make. You won't even be able to buy a pair of shoes on Kijiji without the government's permission. And then they want to put you on a digital currency. That's the final nail in the coffin. A digital ID, a universal basic income, and a digital currency. Now, you will not be able to eat. You will not be able to shop. You will not be able to travel without the government's permission, approval, and them giving you consent while taking whatever they want. If they tell you got to take a shot every month and a half, you'll have to take a shot every month and a half. If they tell you that you have to donate 5 hours of your time to volunteer services, you're going to have to do that. If they tell you you're going to have to donate blood every other week, you're going to have to do that, or you don't get your money and your family doesn't eat. And then when they got you on that system and you already have no hope for a future, they're going to do what China already decided they're going to do with their digital currency. This is the best part, everybody. It's going to expire. So imagine you are working at your 9-to-5 job. You make your $1,000 that week, and it gets deposited into your digital bank account. Now you have 60 days to spend that money. And if you don't, you are hoarding, and the state will recoup that unused money for their own purposes. Wow. That is where this is going. Wow. And they are doing that because, think about it, if you have expiring money, you can work as many jobs as you want, as many hours as you want, have as many side businesses as you want, but your family will never be able to succeed. Your family will never be able to accumulate wealth. Your family will never be able to better their living conditions and never be able to pass anything on to future generations. You will only have what they allow you to have. You will own nothing and be happy, because if you say anything, they'll be able to do whatever the hell they want to you. That is where this is headed. China already has the infrastructure in place. They already have people downloading their COVID safe app. They already have quarantine jails set up all over the city. And they have their people so under control that you literally need to get tested and you need to get jabbed on a certain frequency. And if you don't, your little app goes red. And if your COVID app goes red, you cannot use a car, you cannot use an ATM, you cannot go inside buildings, you cannot leave your own town, you can't buy food, you cannot do anything but check yourself into a jail and wait. And if you think that's not ripe for abuse, I'll give you a perfect example of how they already abused it. There was a bank in China that was going broke. Hundreds of thousands of customers wanted to take their money out. So the bank just called the government and said, oh, we got a problem. We got hundreds of thousands of people that want to take out their money. It'll destroy our bank. So you know what they did? They just isolated the customers from that bank, flipped a little switch, and every one of their COVID apps went red. So now you can't take your money out. You can't even get into a car to go to the bank, and you're stuck. So you can't do anything. And on top of that, you have to go and check yourself into the COVID jail. Even though you didn't test positive for COVID, you're up to date on your vaccination, but you did something the government didn't like, so they could flip a switch, and now you have to bring yourself to jail. If that's not complete and utter control, I don't know what is. Yeah. And when the people got even madder and said, screw it, we're not going to check ourselves into this quarantine center, we're just going to walk or take a bike and go to the bank. Well, the government was ready for that too. They had tanks waiting in front of the bank and armed soldiers waiting in front of the bank. And they arrested people and take them away for trying to get their money. Yeah. And before they could be challenged in court, the government just went and passed a law that changed every deposit in the country into so-called assets of the communist government. So it legalized the theft of every dollar in everybody's bank account. No FDIC insurance, no recourse, no nothing. And that's the model for Canada, US, and every other place around the world. A future where you get paid in a digital currency you can never touch, you can never hold, that goes into a digital wallet that they control, and they control what you can spend, what you can buy, and eventually they'll be able to take the money straight out of your account if you don't spend it in an orderly fashion. This is designed to create a society of perpetual servitude, perpetual slavery, and an environment where you can never challenge the people who rule over you.
Trudeau's in on it.
Of course he is. Trudeau's one of the main puppets. You can literally see the strings on top of his head. But Poilievre is no different. Bernier is no different. They're all part of the same gang. They will all play by the same rules. The only way this ends is when people decide that they will not put up with what the politicians are doing. Then it doesn't matter who is selected. It doesn't matter who's telling you to put the mask on. It could be Jesus telling you to put the mask on. If you don't do it, he doesn't have that power over you, does he? The moment you comply, you've already lost. The moment you comply, you've sold out yourself, your country, and the future generations. I don't care what excuse you try to use. Every excuse is you saying, I'm a bad person. I'm on the wrong side of history, and I screwed up. But there's still time to do the right thing. Of course, doing the right thing is never easy. I got arrested 23 times in 25 months doing the right thing. I got arrested twice on my European tour. I got arrested in Ireland. I got arrested in Netherlands. You didn't hear about it. Why? Because they had to let me go with no charges, both times. So I don't think they wanted to make news reports that said, Chris Skye gets arrested again for nothing, again. That would have been the news headline. So rather than do that and embarrass themselves, they just quietly let me go because they couldn't charge me. But getting arrested 23 times in 25 months, believe me, I can tell you that doing the right thing is not always easy. Otherwise, it wouldn't be the right thing. And that's why it takes strong men. And that's why it takes men coming to terms with the reality that this only happened because you weren't strong. Every single one of you needs to go home, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am the problem. Then look at yourself and say, but I'm also the solution. Period. Look at your wives. Look at your children. Look at your friends. And start thinking, these are the people that I need to fight for. This is what I've been fighting for all along. And these people here today, yes, it's a small crowd in comparison to what we normally have. But this is more important than the big ones. The big ones where it's popular to come out. That's already too late at that point. All those people are out here because the restrictions have already been put in place. Their lives have already been tampered with. Their businesses have already been closed. Their marriages have already been ruined. It's the people like us keeping the spark, keeping the momentum alive. So when they try to bring those restrictions back and try to pull the rug out from under us, we're ready. So this is the core of the freedom movement. These are the true warriors of Canada. And you need to all give yourselves a round of applause because you are carrying the torch that's going to bring freedom back to this country and back to the rest of the world. I can tell you, they're losing. They lost the narrative. Even when I was in jail in Ireland, I had the cops come up to me while I was just sitting there minding my own business. One cop came up to me and tapped me, and I looked up at him like, yes, officer. He looked at me and he said, I'm never wearing a fucking mask again. Well, thank you for that. And then he went on and he said, every problem in our country today is being caused by our government. That's right. I want you to understand that we realize that. So the police know. The people around the world know. Everybody understands what's going on. And the only difference is the silent majority isn't going to stay silent anymore. That's right. That's what we need. And the best way to recruit them is with the food. Because how can you demonize a mother or father who's upset that their grocery bill went up exponentially? Can you call them an anti-masker, an anti-vaxxer, a conspiracy theorist because they showed you their bill from 6 months ago and their bill for the exact same grocery 6 months today and it's way more expensive? Does that make them a crazy conspiracy theorist? Or does that just make them a concerned mother, father, etc., a concerned citizen? And concern is what we all need. And concern and unity is what we all need to get results. And I'm telling you, nothing makes people more aware and more concerned of when they can't feed themselves. Every revolution in the history of mankind kicked off when the people couldn't feed themselves. And telling us to download a little app with our digital identity is the equivalent of telling them, let them eat cake back in the day. Yeah. And I believe that this is the way we can unite those people, and I'm talking those people who took the jab, those people who wore the mask against their own will, the people that felt forced. We can recruit them to our side. We can get them to fight for freedom. We can get them to fight for their own food security, because they cannot be demonized. They cannot be ostracized. They cannot be fired from their jobs or attacked by their family members. This is how we reach out to everybody and bring them back into the fold. And it's right in time for the holidays. The holidays, it used to be the best time of the year, which the last 2 years was tragic. Yes. It was the time of the most division, the most heartbreak, the most loneliness, the most despair. Yes. And it was by design. Yes. You think they want you to get together with your family and friends and talk about all the wonderful things you want to do and how you're going to live life and how you're going to do this and all the goals and all the things you have planned for the future? No! They want you at home, alone, in a mask, thinking about your next jab and waiting to see what the government tells you to do next. They want you to despair. They want the hopelessness. They want that negative energy, because when you're scared, hopeless, and confused, they can control you. They can turn you against your loved ones, the people who actually care for you. And this is your chance to get those people back. I guarantee you the vast majority of your friends and family regret the way they treated you. And they regret taking the jab and wearing the mask. And if you just go and ask them about it, I guarantee the vast majority will admit it to you. And they will welcome you back with open arms. And this is where we can have a discussion. This is where you can show them what's going to happen next. And you don't have to, you can tell them and they don't have to believe you. Just tell them to save their bills. Save their energy bill, save their grocery bill, save their gas bill, and tell me what happens in the next 6 months. That's how we're going to win this war, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just about being patient. It's not just about being resilient. Now, it's up to every one of you to do what I've been doing the last 2 years. You need to wake people up every single day, even if it's one person a week. If everybody did that, we would not be in this mess. Your children would be safe. Our country would be saved. Our future would be secure. And that is your only responsibility as a Canadian citizen, to leave the country in a better state for future generations. That's right. I want to have a kid next year. I've been waiting as long as I possibly can. I'm almost 40 years old. If I don't have one soon, I'm going to be a fucking senior citizen. For you, brother. But at the same time, I was on so many charges, and I was worried so much about where our country's going to be in 3 years. The last thing I wanted to do was bring a kid into this crazy world. But thankfully, I got off every single one of my charges in Alberta, by the way.
Nice! Woo!
4 separate arrests, over a dozen charges. I got off of all the charges.
Way to go, Chris!
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for who you are.
I don't know what happened.
Jason went down.
Yeah, I don't think someone cut the power.
No, but there's no power.
Hear the system!
I think they shut me down, guys.
A little bit nervous about what's being said up here.
Hold on a second, Chris.
Hey. Isn't that funny, Chris, how these things just happen?
I guess they don't want me to have a kid.
That's what I mean. But you don't want you to tell anybody.
We don't need another Chris Skye in the world. What?
I'm afraid of cloning myself.
We need another one of you, Chris.
Yeah.
Many more of them.
If we can't get it going, everyone can just come a little closer.
There you go.
We're not afraid of social distancing, are we?
Just go like this.
I talk loud as it is.
I love it. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, Ford Southern has some great videos on middle.
We should be making kids watch those.
Bring back toxic masculinity.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Woo! So as I was saying, our only responsibility as a Canadian is to leave our country in a better state for the future generations. Not in a state where they're going to be in a perpetual servitude for the rest of their life. And all it takes is for us to stand strong. All it takes is for us to keep spreading the word. All it takes is for us to just keep saying no. Do not rely on politicians. Do not rely on people that say they will lead you out of this. Rely on yourselves to be the leaders for your household, for your family, for your friends. Work together within your communities. That is where the strength lies. We can't go to big cities like Vancouver and Toronto and expect to reach all those people. They're brainwashed. The vast majority of them literally have about an hour a day. Think about it. They sleep 8 to 10 hours a day. They spend 2 hours a day getting to and from work. They spend 2 to 3 hours a day eating and drinking. So what are we at? We're already at 15 hours. Then they spend 8 hours working. That's 23 hours of their day, of their 24-hour day gone. And then what do they do with their last hour? They probably play on Facebook and watch a little bit of TV. So can you really blame them for not knowing what's going on?
No.
No, you can't. But that's why the rural communities are so important. There's a totally different attitude. And that's why when we go on tour, we hit the big cities because we have to. But we hit the smaller towns because that's where you can make the most impact. If you can get 1,000 people to come out in a town of 20, 30,000, that's the kind of numbers where you can make change literally overnight. And if you can make change in all the small communities surrounding the big cities, then it has no other option but to permeate those cities.
Yeah.
And that is why they're attacking these rural communities. That's why they don't want you to be around each other, because they know when you come together, they can't control you. They know when you come together, you will have the strength to act in the best interest of your children. So do not let them make you be isolated this holiday season. Get together with your families and friends. Let them know what's happening. Let them know what's coming.
Yes.
Make them take notes of what they're spending so they can see it for themselves. And every month, as more and more people get angry and more people have trouble making ends meet, our numbers will grow. And they will grow exponentially. And we will hit a critical mass where we will be able to impose our will on our government, which it's supposed to be like in the first place. We do not work for the government works for us. We do not do what the government tells us, the government does what we tell them. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget it. And just look around today and look at the people that are standing with you. It's literally every facet of life, every ethnicity, every age group, men, women, children. You know what we all have in common? We're Canadians that believe in freedom. And believe me, there's a lot more where we came from. There's millions and millions and millions of people around the world that have had enough. Millions and millions of people are just looking to know that they're not alone. And that is our job, to let them know that we're not alone here in Canada and they're not alone around the world. I'll go everywhere, every country that invites me to spread this message, because it is the message that will set us free. It is the message that will hold the people that are doing this to us accountable. And it is the message that will solidify freedom for generations to come. God bless you all. I love you. Thank you.
There's Vic.
Hello,
Mr. Rob.
No
Yeah.
gimbal.
No
I'm
gimbal.
living proof.
Oh, thanks, bro.
When you go,
That was good. That was good. I gotta end my live now because my phone's gonna die.
both my kids over the last 25 years.
All right, everybody, we're gonna end this stream. My phone is going to die, so peace, love, and freedom. Vic BC Live is here. Tyson Hockley's here. Feel free to jump over to their channels. We're gonna end this up here now for the day. But I'll take some offline footage for you too as well. Do a little video in a couple days. Peace, love, and freedom. Later, everyone.